Hi guys, it's Meg at Chasing Retro, and I am here today with a small haul from the Craft Reuse store. I went today and I actually got to take my mom with me. She has never been. She's probably very tired of hearing me talk about this place, but she had never been on her own, so I offered to take her up there today. I was not volunteering today. I just wanted to go and take her and enjoy being a shopper and a customer. And we both had a lot of fun. I think she liked it, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna want to go back with me. And I also have a few things that she's looking for that I can keep my eye out for when I'm there. So let me show you what I found, and then I'll give you a small little update on the 80s journals at the end. I went, you guys know that I love the big scrap bins that they have there. It's like a gigantic refrigerator box size, 2 of them, full of scraps. And there's different things that constitute a scrap. The main thing is it's not at least a 1/4 yard and or missing one of the selvages. So if we have both selvages and at least 1/4 of a yard, it does not go in the scrap bin and gets priced and put out. So obviously a lot of things don't make that cut and they make it to the scrap bin. Even really cool, unique, and sometimes vintage and nice fabrics. So I've said it again, guys, but if you're ever in South Carolina and you would like to go to this store, send me an email and I'll explain everything you need to know about your first trip there. All right, so the first thing I found in the scrap bin was this lovely piece of material, and I wish you could feel how it feels. The back of it looks just like a standard polyester, maybe a little bit of nylon. I don't know. I'm really bad at the synthetic fabric deviating between them or differentiating between them. But it is slinky. It kind of reminds me of the jackets that were popular for like a few years in the 90s. They were zip-up jackets. I don't know. It's almost like what later became called tinsel cotton. I may be doing this explanation horribly, but this has sort of a pearlescent sheen to it. I don't know if that was the intent or just the way it ended up being, but I love it. It's beautiful. It's pink, and it will be perfect for adding more fun ruffles and such to the 80s journals. I found this beautiful piece, and this was priced in the fat quarter section because it had 2 selvages. This was basically my sister's room when she was in preschool. After her room became not a nursery anymore, but a little girl's room, my mom decorated with the pink and blue hearts like this. I actually have another piece of fabric with this heart in pink. And I was excited to find this country blue, and it has the blue bows and the teddy bears and the rocking horses and the blocks and this little bunny cart. So cute. These are perfect for large journaling cards, pockets for some of the oversized 80s journals, and just I honestly think I've bought too much fabric to use in these journals. I just keep finding amazing 80s fabrics, so whoever purchases one is possibly just going to get a bag of leftover scraps and really fun segments of 80s fabrics to use in their own crafting to add to their journals, because I don't see myself making another 80s journal like this for a very long time. So I'm not going to hold on to all these things indefinitely. There's the price from that last one. Okay, this is a piece I found in the scrap, and I think it might have been a sheet. If it is a sheet, it is not a very comfortable sheet because the thread count is very high. Not high, very low. Sorry, very low. But it just looked like a wallpaper or a sheet. And it's got this beautiful border, and then it's just got these beautiful little blue coquette bows with the pink polka dots. And it's a pretty large size piece, so. Also in the scrap bin, I found this piece of beautiful harvest gold, almost pumpkin-y color of silk. I am almost positive this is actual silk. I plan to tie tear this into 3 or 4 strips and save it for tying around journals, maybe a fall journal. I don't think I'm gonna get to fall journals this year, but at some point I will. And I thought this was the perfect color and material for that. Really pretty. I just love silk. Also in the scrap bin was this. I think somebody had a new embroidery machine and was just testing a bunch of stuff. There were a lot of, you know, things with sayings and words on them, but I found this piece. This just looks very Heidi to me. So I picked this up. It's got multiple layers of interfacing. I'm assuming some of this peels off. I don't know if this is the kind that I can soak in water. Maybe these 2 pull off and this I can cut around. But I thought it would be a really cool wide pocket, or maybe even a decoration to wrap around the edge of the spine. We'll see. It was too pretty not to leave there for 25 cents in the scrap bin. This, as if I needed more 80s fabric, like I said, this is a holographic rectangle print on black polyester, like a stretch. And yeah, I'm getting to the point now where I need to come up with more things to make with these types of fabrics other than just ruffles. So I'm thinking about possibly making some bows, cutting them with some pinking shears and then wrapping something around them, like some of this pleather or whatever. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool. Different things to top tags with that are tactile and fun colors and textures. I found this piece. It's a pretty big piece, but I'm assuming it has only one selvage. But it's I'm putting it aside for my Christmas journals, and it is a little bit lighter red than I like for Christmas, but it is sort of an orangey red poinsettia with gold glitter. Or is that silver? The lighting is not great in here today because it's cloudy, but it might be silver. But it's pretty. I could definitely use it. Okay, I found this roll of holographic faux leather. This is obviously probably from Hobby Lobby because I have the same thing in pink. I have been using this, and I have a quandary. I was actually going to go onto Reddit and some other forums when I got home to read up on it. My sewing machine will not sew on this stuff, and several of you have told me to get a Teflon foot. Is there anything else I can do that doesn't involve buying a foot? I think they're only $10 or $12, but every little dollar counts. And so I'm trying to think, like, I don't want to hand sew, but I really would like to be able to cut shapes and then sew around them as embellishments. I thought about poking holes and attaching things with brads. That's one idea that I had. Glue is probably not going to work. I did use some glue, some Fabri-Tac on the back of this, and I guess the fumes came through the fabric and discolored the edges. Like, you could see exactly where I put the glue. So I am stumped on this one, guys. If you have any ideas, if I just need to buy a Teflon foot, I will do that. But I was wondering if any of y'all had any other ideas on how I can affix this to surfaces for making appliques that don't involve buying a Teflon foot. I wondered if maybe a free motion foot would work, but I don't know. I don't have the greatest control of that thing, so I don't know. We'll see. Just let me know, guys. I'm all ears. Another thing on a roll, I found this. I couldn't believe this. I hardly ever find this stuff there. This was an unopened pack of magic cover, and it's old enough not to have a oh, maybe that is the SKU right there, the scanner, but it's obviously old because it's faded. There's no date. I'm guessing 90s, but the print reminded me of a 50s rose print, so I can pretend like it's a 50s paper. I like to use this stuff honestly in my drawers, but I also like to use it in journals. I picked up 4 sewing patterns. My mom convinced me to get this one. She says I can do it, as in make a nightgown for myself. I might try. I'll probably wait until it's cold and I'm between journal projects and I have nothing else to do but try to relearn how to sew clothing. It has never been cut, as far as I know. Someone made, maybe they did use it because it says added an inch length. But I would like to make this one and this one. I want to make this one in like a thin cotton, like a broadcloth, you know, like a rosebud print or something. And I want to make this one in this, I think it's flame retardant. It's the stuff that you used to find children's sleepwear made out of. I found some delicate pink rose. I say flannel, but that's not it. It's soft, but it's not as soft as flannel, and it's thinner, whatever that is. And it looks almost like this print right here. I would love to make some pajamas out of that for myself. I love the throwback 80s yoke neck with the buttons and lace. I think eyelet would be cool. I don't know how comfortable that'd be to lay on, but I would just be proud of myself if I made something that I could actually wear. We'll see. This was just, it caught my eye and I was like, I have to get this for the 80s journals. I've been using patterns, like pattern envelopes, as pages in these, but some of the other patterns that I have, I thought about cutting around and making large, oversized journaling cards. I got this one because my mom said she actually made me this dress with the same little bunny applique when I was little. And so I was like, well, obviously I have to buy this to put in my own 80s journal that I'm keeping. So cute, right? And then these two I got just, I don't need any more patterns for any reason, but I would like to make more sewing themed journals. And these were in such great shape, I could not leave them there. I'd never seen one like this. The sparseness of it is beautiful. And this is just fall and happy. And it just made me think about fall. So those were 50 cents each. I picked up I needed some nylon, non-stretchy cording for beading for these charm dangles for the 80s journals, and lo and behold, they had fluorescent, so how could I not? And then I picked this up. This is old Michael's. I picked this up thinking I would use this to make toys for my daughter's parakeet, and she told me that she doesn't think this is safe for them, but that's fine. I can use this to string pony beads and other things for the 80s journals as well, because didn't we all love to do this kind of stuff back then? Evidently you make bird toys using twine and other like natural elements, but I didn't know. I didn't call her from the store. I just kind of, it was $1, so I was like, I'll just take a risk, but I can definitely use it otherwise. This box caught my eye, and I think it has one of those like not labels, decals that you would put like on cabinets and stuff back then. I'm gonna see how well I can carefully clean around it and preserve this. But it's like a mother of pearl looking plastic, and I can always use more pins, so I got the box. I got the box for the box, but the pins and this awesome needle threader were just bonus. I just love little vintage trinket boxes. I got this for my hubby because he does music and stuff that involves using these again. I don't fully understand what he does, but if I ever see them for that price, I grab them for him. And last but not least, one of my fellow volunteers there was pricing these, and I waited until she put them out, and I went and grabbed one. These, I've never come across this. in the wild. Someone had donated a wedding dress that had been cut up. And I know junk journalers buy those. I have not. I just don't have room to store a wedding dress. I barely have room for my own. But all the work's already been done. So I was like, absolutely. This whole bag was $4 and I couldn't believe it. So I now have some beautiful bridal appliques in my stash. Of course, they can be used for other things, not just bridal themes, but there's a variety. I mean, obviously whoever cut this up did not have just one dress, because there's different backgrounds and textures and even subtle color variations in them. That's interesting. Isn't this so pretty though? I was very excited to find this. Oh, look at the long beads, the little oval beads. Very nice. That's a lot for $4, I think. And we've got stain. I guess some of this was maybe off of veil because so much tulle. Very cool though. I don't know, maybe all this was one dress. Those 80s dresses didn't play when it came to appliques. So that was my haul from today. A quick update on the 80s journals. Let's see, I'll show one of them. I've got half of them next to me and the other half are across the room. I'm being very careful with them right now because they're not sewn in. They will be sewn in tonight and tomorrow night. Probably take 2 days to do it, 2 evenings. This is one of the curved ones. This one is reserved. It has 4 signatures, and I added all of the beautiful little, I call it icing, just the layers and layers of beauty that peek out of the edges of journals. These were so fun to do because of the 80s colors. Some of the other 80s journals that are more fluorescent have more, bolder ruffles and types of trim peeking out, but this one is very pastel and innocent colors, just really pretty. And I have been making ephemera a little every day, sometimes just while I'm watching TV, and I'll just make the same thing 8 times and put them in a bowl, and then I've kind of got trays lined up with piles of the embellishments as I go. I'll show you one of the things that I made. I actually had a roll of glittery tulle that my daughter had for a pony journal she's working on, and I found a YouTube tutorial on how to make sequin shaker tulle bows. Oops, I had it upside down. So I found that the stiffer tulle works better for this. I used just another type, I guess another brand of white tulle, and it's a lot more flexible. I don't like the way the sequins kind of don't stay put in these as well, and these were also much harder to work with, but nevertheless they're cute. And so yeah, these will be used as embellishments in the journals. I have some white and some pink. The white ones have like peach and hot pink and like a lime green sequin, and these mostly have pink and blue. Really fun, just tiny little girly things. It is one of my favorite things to make, and these 80s journals have let me do that in many different ways. So stay tuned. I have not forgotten. Though I have other things that I'm doing this week with our kids to get them ready for classes starting back, believe me, this house is a 1980s themed junk journal factory right now, and my family would amen that 100%. It's crazy. Our dinner table looks like Paula Abdul threw a party in here last night. It's crazy. I cannot wait to show these to y'all. I cannot wait to finally get to show y'all what I've been working on. So thanks for joining me today. It was sort of impromptu, but I know it had been a long while since I put a video up. I'm still here. I'm doing great. Everybody's great. I hope you all are, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.